Next question here that we had come in, and this has also come in a variety of forms. Our council has voted to move to in-person as soon as possible. Do we continue to go online?
Oh, that's good. There's a lot of tension,
yeah,
it seems.
There is a lot of tension, and I think the tension, I think pastors and worship staff all over are seeing the value of going online. And if they weren't online pre-COVID, they all got online at COVID. And I think a lot of people were like, "Oh, this is just a phase. Like when we're back in person, it'll be back to normal." Is the term, right? But I think this has changed human behavior forever, and I think that's something that church needs to take very seriously, and put that into the long-term plans of budget and just overall vision of the church and the why we do what we do. So I think, do we continue to go online? My short answer is 100% yes. How to do that is a big question. Nolan, you can jump in here and add some stuff.
Yeah, I like even before COVID hit, I would say that there's a big majority of people who will check out your church before they are within your church, whether it's via Facebook, your website, whatever. And now, because everything has been online and people are at home and have been at home, yeah, there will be groups of people who are excited, and if you haven't let them in yet, they're ready to bust down the doors to get inside the church. But that is a small group in comparison to all of the people that we have connected with, all the people that we haven't reached yet. So, I mean, what we've done online over the last year, over the last 10 years is just, we're still in the baby stages. And I don't think that unless we have a way to connect with people online, I think there's not just groups of people that will miss, but generations of potential followers that we're going to miss until we figure it out, not till they change. It is not going to change. We have to change to connect with the next generations. I mean, it's just, it is a big deal.
Well, and as worship staff people, as church staff people, we have insider mentality sometimes, and most of the time we just do. We think about, well, they should come back to church because that's just what you do, right? That's what everyone should do, and that's what I would do, and that's what, like, it's like, is that the reality though? No, probably not. I think for a good chunk of the church, yeah, of course they're going to come back. That's what they've done, and they just know that the value's there and they need to do that. But I think at the end of the day, this is a big point of change and evolving for us, and we have to roll with it. I like to use the example of all the announcements that Netflix and Disney and Hulu and all the Warner Brothers, they're all coming out with very similar announcements and research showing that the trends are leaning towards shorter content and easier to more, what did we call it the other day, bite-sized content, bingeable, where they're talking about not even creating full-length video movies anymore. Like, that is changing. They're finding that long videos aren't being watched as much as bingeable shows and as much as short videos are. What does that say about the church? I think TikTok totally disrupted how we consume things. I think it was a kids thing. It started as Musical.ly. It was kind of a kids thing, and then older kids got into it, and now you're seeing adults and parents on there dancing around doing the thing. And it's not just about music. I follow a lot of business leaders on there, and worship leaders and worship people, but anyways, all that to say, like, it has changed the way the general population consumes videos and watches videos. So what do we do about that as the church, as having the single most important message in the world that we're trying to get out to the world? How do we change with that research coming in and being real about it?
Yeah. And I think just like from when I was a kid, sports and events wouldn't happen on Wednesdays and they wouldn't happen on the weekends. And that was sacred time, and that was only for your family, for your church. And that has changed big time. We've got people who are super insiders of the church who will disappear for an entire season because of hockey, because of whatever. When I was at Good Shepherd with you, John, there would be a huge amount of people leaving for the lake in the summer. So we wouldn't see them for many of the summer months. And so we can say, okay, we'll see you when you get done with this season, maybe. Or they can, while they're on the boat or while they're traveling between this hockey game and that volleyball game, can watch it online. And we've heard from so many different people who are insiders who were there every single week that they've never felt as connected to church as they have during this last 10, 11 months of online church, because we're coming to them. They have a screaming kid who's now able to play, and they feel comfortable in their home, and we're over their TV with their whole family, or in the nurse's station while the nurse takes a break, takes her 15-minute break, and she can watch part of the service or a daily dose or a devotion or whatever. And so now, instead of church is something you do every week, it's something that is a part of everyday life where we go to them.
Right.
And to me, if you choose, I just don't like to say we're only going to do this once a week, twice a week, where people come to us, is missing the mark of the call of the church. Right. So now, instead of, this is our mindset shift for us. Instead of doing church and then we live stream, and that was something secondary. Church in person is the church, and then there's some people who are watching online, secondary. Now we're thinking of it in a whole different way. We've got in-person church and we've got online church, 2 different campuses going on at 2 different times or at the same time. It doesn't matter. They're two different identities that need to be cared and facilitated and staffed and intentional about. So,
right.
And I think that's the way that we need to go in this next season of our life of the church.
Right. I agree. Oh, that's great. That is awesome. Well, as always, send us any questions you have. Make sure you're on YouTube, following us on YouTube. There's a bunch of videos and content on there to help you as a church leader, and share them with your team if there's stuff that you're like, oh, this is something we got to start working through. If you're a pastor, share these with your council, your executive team, whatever it is. And reach out to us. Don't ever hesitate to email us if you're like, oh, this is a dumb question. Like, well, but nope, it's not a dumb question. It's very real, and it's something that you're struggling with, and
there's
is okay.
There's a chance that we've dealt with it already.
Yeah. Or we're currently struggling with it, and we're trying to figure it out together. That's a very common thing. So, as always, reach out, and our information's in the comments below, or in the caption below. So click on that, click on the different links down there, and check out more stuff. Send us questions, and we'll be back on live next Friday.
All right. See you then.
All right. Thanks, guys.